Welcome to the Women of Distance podcast. I'm your host, Lauren Kramer. You're listening to our first special project of the year, the Black Canyon 100K Women's Elite Field Preview, presented by SOAR Running. Black Canyon is the second golden ticket race opportunity for the 2026 Western States 100, and it is without a doubt the most competitive 100K race in the U.S. right now. Over the past several years, we have seen the women's race in all events get faster while the competitive depth gets deeper. This year's field consists of 2 Olympians, 2 world record holders, the defending champion and course record holder, and that's barely scratching the surface. Here at Women of Distance, our race previews are different. You'll hear from a deep field of athletes, including those who you may already recognize, those you may not, but should, and even familiar faces who are new to this race or distance. You won't hear outside opinions, analysis, or predictions, but rather directly from each athlete, their own words, thoughts, feelings, and goals heading into the February 14th race. Because of the depth, we've split this preview into 2 separate episodes, one with veterans who have run the Black Canyon 100K before, and one with first-timers coming to the course and or the distance for the first time. Both episodes are currently available, so please be sure to tune into both. The depth of this project is important to me, and I'm so thankful for the support of SOAR Running to help make it happen. SOAR Running design and produce running apparel that does justice to the commitment and passion of runners globally, encompassing textile innovation, pioneering design technology, sports science, and the real-world experience of runners. Their collections are designed specifically for running, high-performance racing, and also off-road adventure and endurance. Check them out at soarrunning.com. That's SOAR running.com. Women of Distance is also supported by Open Fuel, responsible sports nutrition to fuel your adventure. Check out their products and their mission at openfuel.co and use code WOD for 20% off your order every single time. We also appreciate our partnership with Summit Roasters. Good coffee, roasted fresh in my hometown. Visit summit-roasters.com and use code WOD15 for 15% off every time. You can find all of these links and codes in the show notes and know that we really appreciate you supporting those supporting us. Without further ado, I hope you enjoy. Thanks for listening. Okay, I am hanging out with Riley Brady. Riley, I think you probably need very little introduction, but how are you doing? Hello.
Yeah, hi. I'm doing great. Yeah, happy to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, I am really excited to chat. I appreciate you making the time. For those who do need an introduction, you are the defending champion at this race, the current course record holder, 9 minutes faster than anyone has ever run this course before. And prior to last year, I think you really kind of showed what's possible on this course. You were 30 plus minutes faster than anyone had run it before prior to last year. Excited to see you back at this race. This is actually your 6th time lining up for Black Canyon. That's my first question. What brings you back to Black Canyon again?
I got to punch that ticket. I really do love this race and this course. Being someplace warm in the middle of February is really nice. I love running in the desert. I just think it's so cool that you start up a little bit higher on the Black Canyon course and then run down. And so you actually get to see all this different desert vegetation. And I like the desert animals that you get to see out there. So I have a lot of love for the Black Canyon course.
Fair enough. I am really curious to hear about your training. I think the past 2 years that you have run this race, you have come in off of the Javelina 100, running really well in the 100-mile distance and then transitioning that into the 100K. This year is quite a bit different. You are coming in with marathon fitness. You just ran CIM. Was that your first road marathon?
No, I ran a handful of road marathons just back right out of college. But I've never trained for a road marathon before. It's always just been kind of in the midst of ultra running. So this was the first time I really buckled down, tried to train specifically for the marathon.
Okay, 241 CIM. It was really fun to track and to follow. Talk a little bit about how that training theory has lined up for you this year and training in a different way.
Um, I think it was just good to spend the fall getting to run a little bit faster, getting turnover on roads. I joined a group here in Boulder, so I had a lot of fun training with other people who were also getting ready for marathons and other faster road races. I thought that was a really great experience for me. Just because I feel like, you're always better in a workout if you've got other people around and it's more fun. So yeah, I just think that that was kind of a good springboard into Black Canyon training. Black Canyon's a pretty fast course by trail standards, so I think having that marathon speed is a good thing.
Talk about, with all of the experience that you have on this course, is there anything that you change or apply specifically to this training block that is specific to the race or to the course?
Um, Specific to this training block and the race or the course, I feel like I'm just trying to, you know, double down on last year. I kind of like worked all of the kinks out in the race last year. There were a couple tweaks I wanted to make. And so I think this has really just been about like, yeah, making sure I'm practicing the fueling, and uh, yeah, making sure all those little other like details are set and ready to go.
Okay, so I wasn't sure if this would be a loaded question for you, so you can answer it how you want to, but you really clearly figured out the secret sauce on this course. Like, what are some of the things you've learned about the way that you run it and the way that you execute it that you're carrying into this year's race?
Um, You know, I don't really know that I can answer that question. Like, I just love this course and I feel good on that terrain. And so I think maybe just embracing like the fact that I'm really having a good time out there. I'm not somebody who's like super um split oriented or I'm not really looking at my watch that much on race day, other than to sort of cue some fueling stuff. But yeah, I think just kind of leaning into how much I enjoy being out there and enjoy being warm. Um, that goes a long way, I think, having a good time.
Vibes. I love it.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so you have already mentioned you are specifically here chasing a golden ticket. What are some of the other personal goals that you have for yourself for the day?
I mean, I would love to run faster than last year. I'd be lying if I didn't say that. But really, really, the ticket is the main goal. Like, I really want to get back to Western States. I've yet to have a good year there. So yeah, really punching the ticket is the number one on the docket for the day.
All right. Do you have crew and are you using pacers?
No pacers. It's an 8-hour workday. I kind of feel like that's ridiculous. Like, come on, if you're racing for a ticket, like, you don't need pacers on the Black Canyon course.
Okay.
Um, I will have crew. My parents will be out there and my friend Rosie.
Okay. I dig it.
Yeah.
All right. Last question, favorite question. What is your current favorite running song?
I have to go with Opalite by Taylor Swift. Um,
Mm.
I'm not I'm not a huge Taylor Swift fan. Like, I don't care about her deep cut songs or I don't know, people get super into it, but like her like major pop hits, I think they're pretty catchy.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
All right. Riley, thanks for taking the time to chat with me ahead of the race. Really excited to watch you fly out there, and we'll be on the course cheering you. So see you out there.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Lauren.
Hmm. I am hanging out with Tara Dower. Tara, you are coming back to the Black Canyon 100K for your fourth time, I believe. You are own the second fastest time in history on this course. You are recently off of Javelina 100, where you set a huge course record by 32 minutes. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm good. It's early here. I got my coffee. It's it's so pretty outside. It's a good day. I love mornings. I'm doing great.
Is it snowing? I didn't ask you that before we hit record.
No, no. Colorado is not getting any snow. There's at least down here in Durango, there's no snow. There was like a little bit of snow like over the weekend, but it disappeared within 3 hours.
Okay, I on the East Coast am sitting here in a foot of snow
Oh
and like
yeah.
single digit temperatures, and
What is
it
it?
seems a little opposite.
Are you seeing any exploding trees or like sheets of ice that I heard on the
No.
news?
Yeah, I heard about that too. We're not that far north. Anyway, all right. Coming back to Black Canyon, I had put together my full list of women I wanted to talk to. And then I circled back around like a few days ago and saw your name on the list. So I think everyone is probably curious what brings you to Black Canyon again?
Oh, I have an interesting relationship with this race, and I came here. I've told this story many times, but I came here in 20 or I came to Black Canyon in 20, what was that? 2022,
21, I think, probably.
23, 21.
Yeah.
Some first time doing it. It was sometime in there, and it was one of my first races out west. Like I had raced a lot the east and had this confidence about me. And I came into the race and I was like, I'm gonna get a golden ticket. And I didn't really know what a golden ticket was either. I was just like, I'm gonna go there and I'm gonna race and I'm gonna dominate. I don't know where this confidence came from because that's not like my usual. Like I'm not usually like somebody who's like I'm gonna win a race. It's just like oh, whatever happens, great. But like somehow I was just going into this race like yeah, I'm hot shit, whatever. And I go out there and I just blow up and just I'm struggling hard. It's a big struggle to the finish. I'm bloody. I remember at one point like I had blood all over my hands. I just wipe it on my face. It was so dramatic and silly. And I finished the race somehow and I was like, I'm never doing this again. And somehow I'm back for the fourth time. And like it's cool because I think the reason I like this race at this point is because I've seen this progression and like my abilities. So like from that first year of like struggling to even finish to last year, feeling that that was a performance I was really proud of and putting down a good time that I was proud of and fighting not fighting but like competing against some really talented women and seeing where I came out on it was really cool. So this year, it's just like it's just like, where am I at? And not that that's always going to be like Black Canyon's not always going to like tell me where I'm at with my fitness, but it is a good indicator to see where I'm at like as the years progress.
So I think it's cool to watch your progression in this race specifically. I think it's almost kind of symbolic of your career as a whole over the past several years of that, like really taking a forward step each time, each year. You did really nail it last year. What kind of things have you learned about this course and this race specifically that are helping you in your preparation either now and or going into race day itself?
Yeah, hydration, nutrition. That was a big focus last year. So it's just going to continue to roll into 26. Also like just that continued like mental toughness because Black Canyon the first bit is downhill and it's fun and it's cruisy and you're running with a bunch of fast people and it's exciting, but like then as soon as you hit halfway it's like oh, I still have quite a quite a long way to go. And just like knowing you can continue on, you can move quickly, and everyone's feeling the same thing. So I think just continuing, I have struggled in the past with like my mentality during races. So I have a mindset coach. She helps me like stay in the moment, and I think that's pretty important for Black Canyon being the race it is.
How is your training going? We were just talking about spending a little bit more time at home over the winter here in the next several weeks up until race day.
Oh yeah. Training's been going pretty well. This happens pretty much every Black Canyon. I just forget about it, where I have this like freak out. Like I have like 1 or 2 or 3 bad runs, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what's going on? um, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna like blow up at Black Canyon. But this happens every winter. I think training in the winter is, it's hard. So it's been going pretty well. I mean, it is what it is. I'm doing the runs. I'm going to the gym. I'm going to the sauna. So as long as my whole thing is, as long as I'm just trying my best, that's all I can ask for. Like, as long as I'm trying my best to train effectively and eat well and sleep as much as I can and go to the sauna, like that's all I can ask for.
I think that leads well into my next question. You already have your golden ticket. You're one of 2 women in the elite field who already has it. So, what are the goals that you are framing for yourself coming into this race?
Yeah, I think a goal is to just put down another time that I'm really proud of, and have a good battle out there with some of the ladies, and practice competitiveness and being competitive. This is a very competitive race, and Western State's going to be very competitive. I think just practicing that and being proud of my performance, like I said with the training, as long as I do the best job that I feel like I could do, that's really all I could ask for.
I love it. Who do you have on your crew support pace team? Are you using pacers? Tell us a little bit about your logistics for the day.
Yeah. So this year, I have Amanda Basham as one of the crew members. She's running the 50K on Sunday. And then I have Sierra DeGroff, who paced me at Javelina. She's gonna pace, I believe, for the last section. And then Rachel Spalding, who paced me last year, the first 20-mile section. But she had so many things happen during her pacing section. She got like bodied. I bodied her. I played rugby in college, and kind of just like a steel wall when it comes to people running into me. And she ran into me when we were leaving the aid station, or I ran into her. I don't remember. So that was one. And then she got bodied at the next aid station by one of the commentators. And then the follow bike ran into the back of her feet. And so
oh my gosh,
she had like trouble keeping up because she was just like getting all this stuff. She's literally getting like attacked. So she's back and she's gonna like keep up this time. She had a lot of bad luck last year. So yeah, she's back. That's the crew. And then I do have some friends from Durango that are going to be there that I actually need to still ask if they can help out a little bit. It's nice to have like, I enjoy having a big crew, and I like when everyone can have like one job. And so like one person's on ice bandana duty and one person's on pack duty. And so it's nice to have a lot of people there, a lot of smiling faces, a lot of familiar faces. So if they're already going to be there, I want to just see if they'd be willing to help.
It seems like you have really figured out that piece of it and have a lot of practice and have figured out what works best for you and for your team. And
oh my gosh. Yeah. Like it's a factor that I can like absolutely control. You can absolutely control like crewing. You can't really control if your stomach's going to accept the gels you put into it.
All right. Last question that I have for you to bring us to a close. Most important question every time. What is your current favorite running song?
Yeah, you asked me that. You've asked me this every year. And I actually was thinking about this morning because I knew you were going to ask it. Oh man, I couldn't think of any this morning. I'm looking at my top songs. Well, just for like giggles, A New Day Has Come by Celine Dion.
I love it.
I listened to that the morning of Javelina. I threw it on and Rascal is in the car and she's like, Celine Dion, huh? I was like, that's what we're going with this morning.
Could not go wrong with Celine Dion. Come on.
I mean, have you heard her? I mean, she's
Right.
she's an angel.
I love it. Great choice, Tara. Thank you for taking your time to chat with me this morning. I will be excited to see how your next couple weeks of training go, and excited to see you out there in the desert. Good luck with these next few weeks.
Thanks, Lauren.
I want to take a moment to thank SOAR Running for their support of the Black Canyon 100K Women's Elite Field Preview Project. SOAR Running design and produce running apparel that does justice to the commitment and passion of runners globally. Encompassing textile innovation, pioneering design technology, sports science, and the real-world experiences of runners, their collections are designed specifically for running, for high-performance racing, and also for off-road adventure and endurance. And that's what I'm most excited about. Their trail line is specifically designed to be technical and durable for long adventures. It is high-performance trail gear blending innovative fabrics and detailing for off-road resilience, function, and endurance. SOAR's innovation and ground-up approach to product development results in a new way of thinking about trail running apparel. Check them out at soarrunning.com. That's SOAR running.com. I am hanging out with Abby Hall. Abby, how are you doing today?
I am doing great. I always love our conversations, Lauren, so happy to be doing this.
Oh, I appreciate you taking the time. We are just about 2 weeks out from the Black Canyon 100K. Just a real quick introduction. I'm sure that you need very little in this format on this podcast, but you are the defending Western States champion. This is your second time coming back to the Black Canyon 100K. You ran it for the first time last year. Maybe a little bit more recently, you are also the overall champion and course record holder at the McDowell Mountain Frenzy 50 mile. Coming now over to the 100K distance, that is my first question. What brings you back to Black Canyon this year?
I think it is just such a great event. I'm really here for the fun of the competition, like as the field just like keeps shaping up and more incredible women keep joining that entrance list. I've just been like, yeah, I've got to be there. It's the perfect place to start the season, especially for me being here in Arizona. I come down I'm based up in Flagstaff, but come down to the desert over the winter, and we stay with my parents usually. And so it's really similar to what I'm training on right now. And it just is really fun to me to start off the year with a bang. I feel like last year, I came out of the race with so many learnings that really propelled the rest of the year. And it just is such a great racing environment to just kick things off. So I not only am I doing it this year, but I was also saying recently, I'm I think I will be continuing to do it for a long, I just can't not see myself starting the season in this way. So yeah, pretty fun to be here. Yeah.
I love it. Elaborate a little bit on what you learned last year. What kind of things did you learn both about the course, about the way that you race it or the way that you want to race it? What kind of learnings did you take that you are applying to this year's race and prep?
I came out of it definitely with some nutrition findings last year that I was able to then fix for Western States, which was, really important to figure out. And I think anyone who's had a nutrition or hydration kind of issue, you usually have to kind of hit the wall a couple times before you're all right, we need to make some adjustments here. And so, that was some stuff with sodium and figuring out what's right for me there. So that was a really important finding. And then I think just in general, the way it races, it's such a unique one. I think it's easy on paper to see it kind of as just this buttery fast downhill course, but it's a really hard course. People are just running it really fast. So I don't think of it necessarily as being a fast course inherently, but it's been, really inspiring, I think, seeing the race that Riley ran there last year and really studying it. I think that was another takeaway for me last year was going into it thinking, all right, we're all kind of going to get the ball rolling for the season. And it was oh no, we're not just trying to run under the course record. Like, Riley obliterated the thing. And like, just goes to show where the sport's at right now. It's so exciting. Like, stepping up to a start line, it's like, it's not just like using last year as a blueprint. It is like, throw out the scripts. Like, we are going all out and like, we're holding nothing back. And I think, yeah, like watching Riley, and Tara and the others like approach the race like that last year, like made me kind of want to like really like take the gloves off for the other races in the season of like, all right, we are holding nothing back, race starts at the start line, like, let's go. And that just got me, yeah, really, really psyched. So I think, I'm really excited to see what the whole field does this year. I think after seeing how last year's race played out, to me, it's just a really exciting time to be participating in this race, in the sport. Yeah, I could go on and on.
I love that. I love all of it. I'm here for having you go on and on. I'm soaking it all in. Talk a little bit about your training. I think I have learned about you over the past several months that you are someone who's very consistent in your training. Is there anything that you have changed or adjusted in this training cycle to prepare for this race?
I think like you're right. Like the training is usually, yeah, really consistent for me. Like even year to year, like I can point to doing similar workouts, like almost to the day, year, 2, 3 years back. So it's like in that way, I think there's kind of like no secrets, no magic. But I think for me, I'm big on specificity. And just with how this race runs, it's a really specific one. And the big thing for me has been, getting to spend some time on the course, time out in the desert. Just like the being prepared for kind of like the twisty, turny braking to get to the bottom of a short hill, then gunning it up a short, incline and turning. Like it's just a lot on the body. And so for me, a big emphasis has just been like in the strength side of things and prepping for what that entails. And I think that's one thing that maybe I didn't give enough credit to last year, was just the toll that the course takes mechanically on the body. Like I think it's relatively easy to look at the numbers and go, okay, I'm like prepared to run 100K at, whatever, a pretty reasonable sounding pace for what the vert is. But it's like mile for mile, the course is just built different than I think even other places in the desert I've found. Like it's just, it's really unique. And so I've been emphasizing that specificity as much as I can, especially in like this later part of the block. But otherwise, like the work, the volume remains pretty unchanged. But that's like, I think the main piece I've been focusing on a little bit more this time around.
I think that's good insight for people to hear too. Talk a little bit about your personal goals for this race. You are one of 2 women who does not need a golden ticket. What are the goals that you are eyeing for yourself?
I mean, I definitely picked this race because of the competition level. And that's like what excites me right now is going where the competition is. I ultimately, like the A goal for the year is June, just like it was last year. But this is to me like an important stepping stone in my build to Western States this year. So, as much as like the goal is to win and have put a day out there that I know I'm capable of, like the bigger picture here is like that this race is a stepping stone to the A goal in June. And that I just want to be able to go out and compete and fight end to end. So this seems like it's like shaping up to be a really good opportunity to do so.
I love it. I love it. Talk a little bit about your logistics for the day. Are you using crew and are you using pacers?
Yeah, I'll have my operation's going to be pretty simple. My strength coach, Sarah Scazzaro, is going to be out there crewing me alongside my husband, Cordis. And then Cordis is going to hop in and pace me again, which he did last year as well. And I just, love having him be able to come out there and join me for those final miles. And he's so good at helping me get the most out of myself. So yeah, I am really, really excited about the team I've got put together.
I love it. All right, last question, hardest question. What is your current favorite running song?
Oh, I always love how you ask about music. Wait, can I look at my Spotify real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
I have been going through like a pretty all-consuming new metal phase.
Okay.
I think that just like also the state of the world right now is just making me really lean heavily on like ragey music.
I dig it, Abby. I really do.
Like I've been listening to a lot of like Deftones and Limp Bizkit and like Nine Inch Nails and like like a lot of, I'm just scrolling through my playlist right now. The playlist that I've been listening to a lot, I've specifically titled New Metal Brain Rot because I sometimes feel like I'll go on these long runs and it's just like me listening to this music the whole time. And then I like have to like readjust to normal life where it's not just like screaming and like, I'm like, all right, back to back to normal life and turning off this like training ragey mode part of myself. So
Oh,
yeah,
man.
that's probably going to be heavy on rotation for race day.
Okay, if I put pressure on you to choose one song, what would you choose?
Oh my
This
gosh.
is this is hard. This is like the highest pressure question that I ask.
Yeah. Let's see here. I'm going to probably say Full Nelson by Limp Bizkit.
Oh, this is the second Limp Bizkit
Really?
song on the playlist. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's sweet. Wait, can I ask who the other Limp Bizkit lover was? Is it
Where is
confidential?
it? Sophie Shunk. It was Sophie Shunk.
That's amazing. Okay, I'm gonna have to put her on Limp Bizkit.
I dig it. It's not what I expected, but I totally understand the train of thought that you're on there and your inspiration for this playlist. Abby, thank you so much for taking your time to chat with me today. I really appreciate it. I am really looking forward to seeing you race out there and hope these last couple weeks are smooth sailing for you.
Thanks, Lauren. I really appreciate it.
Yep. See you out there.
Sounds good.
Okay, I am hanging out with Shea Aquilano. We are talking Black Canyon 100K yet again. Shea, how are you doing?
I am good. How are you, Lauren?
I'm good. Thanks for being here. We talked nearly every race that you did last year. It only feels appropriate that we're starting off the year doing the same thing. Real quick for our listeners, you are most recently off of the JFK 50, where you were second place female in a very close second place, an exciting race to watch. And you are coming back for your sixth time at the Black Canyon 100K. You were sixth overall last year. I think that's the first question I have for you is what keeps bringing you back to this race?
Yes, I get asked this a lot. I think Black Canyon has kind of become central to my athlete journey from the beginning. And it holds a lot of meaning to me because it's where I ran my first 100K ever. And to now know the course, the people, and all the ins and outs is kind of a special feeling. And it's a place where it shows me how the little things have stacked up over time, year over year, with improvement. And yeah, I still feel like I have time to gain, and I'm really excited to see what else I can do out there.
Yeah, well, so that's one of the questions I have for you is what kind of things have you learned about this course in the way you prepare for it, the way you race it, that you are taking into your race for this year?
I kind of approach it a little differently every year depending on what my goals were. So last year, I already had a ticket into Western States. So it was more of a season starter and using that race as a ramp into some of my other A races of the year. Whereas this year, I would love a golden ticket. So approaching it a little differently, have done a little bit more volume this winter. Yeah, and I guess just learning from past experiences, trusting my own effort, and knowing where to push and where to spend more time with the little things like cooling or stopping for extra water and so forth on the course.
Mm. How has your training changed maybe just over the past month or two coming off of JFK to prepare for this race? We were, before we hit record, just talking about there has not been a lot of snow in Colorado, so you've been on trails a little bit more than maybe is typical this time of year.
Yeah, exactly. It has been a mild winter, so have been able to train more on trails and runnable climbs here in Boulder compared to last year, which is nice. I mean, pros and cons. Obviously, it's not great that we're not getting a lot of snow, but has allowed me to get some more course specific training.
Awesome. Awesome. It'll be interesting to see how that translates for you too. You mentioned a golden ticket. I think that's probably an obvious answer that you would like one of those 3 that is available at this race. What other goals do you have for yourself for the day?
It'd be really cool to feel super strong in the last, I think it's like 10, 11 miles of the race after Table Mesa, because I know that section is one where I've historically struggled in the past. So finish feeling good and hopefully come away with a PR would be my other goals for the day.
I love it. Do you have, or who is your crew, and are you using pacers?
Yeah, so for my crew, I'm going to have my mom and my coach, Ryan Anderson. We'll both be out there crewing me. For pacers, not currently planning on having any pacers. Potentially, my coach will jump in with me for the first segment from Deep Canyon Ranch to Table Mesa. But otherwise, thinking right now, probably will just go whole thing solo.
Okay, so he's got to be ready for a game time decision on race day.
Yes, yeah.
Cool, I like it. All right, my favorite question, most important question. You are one of my favorite people to ask this question. What is your current favorite running song?
So I think for this race, I've been listening to more of Connor Price. So like Marathon by Connor Price is probably my choice for that question.
All right, I dig it. You always have an interesting answer, so I appreciate hearing what it is.
They're all very different.
Yeah, yes, very much so. Okay, all right, Shea, thanks for taking some time to chat with me today. I hope your next couple weeks of training goes smoothly, and we'll see you out in the desert.
Awesome. Thanks, Lauren. See you out there.
Hey, folks, quick interruption to make sure to say thank you to Open Fuel for supporting the Women of Distance podcast. Open Fuel is responsible sports nutrition to fuel your adventure. Check them out at openfuel.co. Right now, I'm loving their Ultra Fuel drink mix with 60 grams of carbs and 500 milligrams of sodium all in one serving. Soon, they'll also be adding a gel mix to their product lineup. Again, check them out at openfuel.co and use code WOD to get 20% off your order every time and support the podcast at the same time. Find the link and the code in the show notes. All right, I am hanging out with Anna McKenna today. Anna, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm really good. Thank you.
Thanks for being here. You are joining us from across the world at the moment, but you are coming to the U.S. and to Arizona here shortly. Just a quick intro for those who are maybe not familiar. You have consistently been in the top 5 at Golden Ticket 100K races over the past several years. You are just recently here, though, back from injury and making your return to racing. How have you been feeling the past couple months? I saw you just ran a 50K.
Yeah, no, it's definitely 2025. Yeah, it really got me good. I got really bad plantar fasciitis in my foot, and I got a cortisone in it to because I really wanted to run Ultra Trail Australia last year, and it just made it so much worse. I ended up not being able to everyone would be like, run through it, you got to keep running. And I'm like, I can't, I literally can't run. I'm like limping, just walking. So really took some time off, stepped away, got an incredible physio. And he just helped me through the whole of 2025. And I got a new coach as well. And he has been incredible because I kind of came to him pretty broken, like not just like from not being able to run, but like just being like, I don't know how I'm going to get back to like where I was. Like, I just feel so behind now. And so he like really like we like a lot of like coming to him, we really kind of pushed the boundaries of like getting back as quick as possible. Like we both believe in like a higher mileage training program. And yeah, I was just really lucky that I had his support. He's also like a head physio. So we kind of like have come back super quick. And a lot of people I think around us may have like questioned the the speed that we came back at. But it's been really smooth. It's been really consistent. There have been days where I've been like, "Hey, I just need to like like a couple of days of chill because I'm feeling a little bit fatigued." But it's been like I'm feel like I'm starting to feel myself again, and I've done everything possible to make sure that when I show up at Black Canyons, I'm as fit as I can be. And I have no plantar anymore, which is like the main thing. Like I'm 100% injury free. I feel super healthy, and so I can't ask for anything else.
I'd love to hear it. Love to hear it. So talk about, this is your second time coming to the Black Canyon 100K. Talk about what inspired you to choose this race this year.
Yeah, I mean, I like as soon as I was able to like build out a 2026 race schedule, like Black Canyons was always on the list. And to be honest, like not only Black Canyons, but a number of races in America. Like I love coming over to America to race. And a lot of people were like, why don't you just go to Tarawera? It's like on the same day. It's like a 3-hour flight. You don't have to deal with jet lag. You don't have to deal with the climate. But I was just like, no, like I feel like I love racing in America. I feel like the trail running culture over there is so different and so supportive, and everyone's like just like wants to see you do really well. And I like even going over to Phoenix, Arizona, like seeing like all the cactuses, like that's just like it's just like a completely different environment that I don't have here. And like it's a level of excitement, like the landscape, the animals. I remember like going for my first run out in Phoenix, and I saw like javelinas and donkeys and coyotes. And I was like, this is like, I don't know, like when I go running in Australia, I don't see any wildlife. And I know that we have like this really bad reputation that everything will kill you. But I reckon like America's worse. So I would much be rather running on the trails in Australia than in America, because then people start talking about mountain lions and all this stuff. So I'm just really excited to like come back and like be able to run on those trails again and connect with the trail running community over in America again.
Yeah, yeah. Talk a little bit about your training as you've been building that volume back. Is there anything, well, how is it going in a general sense? And is there anything that you do specifically to prepare for Black Canyon and the course itself?
Yeah, last time, so when I ran canyons last time, I lived in like a completely different area. It was like a beach town. There weren't a lot of hills. And now I live now in Melbourne, and I have like a really awesome group of women that I train with here. And I like when I raced canyons, my quads blew up quite quickly. That was one thing I was really surprised about. Like around 30 kilometers, I remember just being like, something's wrong with my quads. Like I could feel them twitching, and I'm like, looked at my watch and I was like, it's 30 kilometers in, like I'm in real trouble. And so that's something that's really stuck with me, is like, okay, how can I make sure when I come back this year I don't have to deal with my quads? So I've definitely like changed the terrain that I've been training on, doing like even my tempo workouts have been on like hilly terrain. My long training runs, like I just did a 60-kilometer run on the weekend, just making sure like I was out there like getting as much like practice going hard on the downhills. And then also just like gym work. So this time, like I've put so much into my strength work as well. And I actually have like invested into like working with Nick, who is my physio. And yeah, I'm just hoping that all these little things will just make the difference when I line up next time.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so this is a loaded question, but what are
Mhm.
your personal goals for this race?
Yeah, that is a loaded question. I mean, I am 100% coming to get a golden ticket. And as you know, like I've been probably chasing a golden ticket since 2023, and I've come fourth and fifth. And they've been like the tickets almost rolled down to me a couple of times, but it hasn't quite made it. And so yeah, I'm coming for a golden ticket. But like more so than that, I guess it's like my first 100K back in a year. And I just want to be able to like show up on the day, and I want to be like up there in the mix with the top women, and I want to give myself every opportunity to get that golden ticket. And if I can be like competitive, then I'll walk away like content that like, you know what, like we're on the right path to coming back. Like, and there's a chance I'll probably not nail it on my first 100K back, but yeah, I just definitely like my goal is to be up there with the top women.
Mm-hmm. Talk a little bit about your support system for this race. Do you have crew and are you using pacers?
Yeah, so I have Ali Mack. Her and Dylan are going to fly over, and Ali Mack is going to be pacing me, which is going to be so much fun. She like texts me, and she's like,
Awesome.
"We're going to fuck shit up."
Classic.
She's,
Yeah.
yeah. She's like, "We're going to have so much fun." So I'm really excited to have her because when she comes in around the 50K mark, I'm sure she will definitely bring a whole lot of energy with her. And then I will have a friend. He lives over in Glendale in Arizona, and so he's going to be crewing me. And he's like run hard rock and a number of times, and yeah, he's very like in the trail running community too. So I'll be very happy to have him by my side. And then my mom is also going to come with me. So she's going to crew me as well, but she like gets a little bit like stressed easily. So if I come in and I'm not looking too good, she's like, oh, like she can panic. So like I've told her she's gotta take a step back and let the others do the work, and she can just step in if she needs.
I love that. And I love that she gets to come with you. That's great too. Last question. This is my favorite question. What is your current favorite running song?
Yeah. So I'm kind of like in my Olivia Dean era at the moment. Um, she's great. And there's like a song called Love You Bye that I've been listening to a lot on my chill runs. But if you go onto like my Spotify and you like open up my run playlist, like the number one song there is Big Dogs.
Okay.
And I think it's by like Calmy, I think he is. So if that's like a banger, it's really good. Just to like get you going when you want to like pick up the pace.
I love it. I love it. I haven't heard that first one. I'm going to go check that one out too. Olivia Dean. Okay.
Yeah,
All
she's
right.
really good.
Anna, thank you so much for making your time to talk with me today. I hope you have safe travels here
Thank
shortly
you.
as you come over, and we'll be excited to see you race and excited to see you back healthy and chasing your goals in a couple weeks here.
Yeah, me too. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I am hanging out with Nicole Hansen, Aerovipa Racing Team member, most recently the champion of the Coldwater Rumble 60K, and back for your third time at the Black Canyon 100K. How are you doing today, Nicole? Thanks for joining me.
I'm doing great. I actually just did the Aerovipa's third Black Canyon training run this morning, so 25 miles in today. So,
Awesome.
yeah, but feeling good, feeling really good.
We are a little bit out from the race still yet today. How is your training going? I'm sure you're not quite at the end of it, but how's it going so far?
It's been going great. I had in the last couple of months, I was building to JFK 50 miles, so I was doing a lot
Hmm.
of flat and fast workouts, kind of road marathon-esque workouts, and a lot of track workouts too, speed stuff. And so I feel like I'm my fastest self right now, and I'm healthy, which is awesome to be in any state of training and training blocks. And I have been healthy for pretty much all of this year, which is great. Last year, I was coming off a sacral stress fracture, which is a pretty long recovery process. So I'm just really thankful and glad that training has been going so well, and I feel strong and fast, all of those things.
That is awesome. So, talk a little bit about having been to this race several times. Is there anything, I mean, it sounds like shorter distances, faster races, but is there anything specific that you have done differently to prepare for this year's race?
Yeah, so I think, like I was said in that build to JFK, I've done a lot more speed workouts and track workouts. I live in Flagstaff, Arizona, and so there's a great community here, and it's a very great place to train fast. We have Lake Mary Road, where you see huge groups of road marathoners, Olympians out doing workouts, so it's really motivating. So I think the speed has really been something different that I've incorporated a lot more into this block, and as well as strength training. I'm 12 months in of consistent strength work and very runner ultra specific strength work. So I feel like I'm stronger than I've ever been, especially before since those last two times that I have done Black Canyon.
That is awesome. I love to hear it. Talk a little bit about anything that you have learned about this race or this course specifically that you plan to apply to your preparation, whether that includes your final weeks of training here or also like race day preparation.
hmm so I've been doing a lot of just climb training right now because I have been running flat for most of this year. And so the Grand Canyon, going up and down that is always a huge challenge and something that helps me feel confident, especially in the latter half of this race. And so when thinking about the Black Canyon course, again, I have lived in Phoenix for 3 years training on that course, and now I live in Flagstaff. So it's like our backyard trails we are really comfortable and familiar with. Pretty much every mile of that course I know well. And so there's a tendency in the first 20 miles to Bumblebee to go out really fast. And I have no doubt that there'll be a lead pack of like 5 to 10 women who go out really, really hard this year, especially with the depth. And then the real race begins after Black Canyon City or Deep Canyon Ranch this year. And that's when the terrain becomes a little bit more rocky and there's a lot more climbing. And so for me, I feel like I'm a very strong climber. I'm a better climber than I am a downhill runner. And so that section is where I want my push to begin to the end of the race, and really where the race starts to separate people who are having their day and people who are maybe struggling a little bit. We were just running on that section today, and we're like, this is where the carnage begins. Where you see people walking, you see people just really struggling who went out too hard. And so that's what I'm going to have in my mind when I'm thinking about this race. Get through to Black Canyon City feeling really, really good, and then the push begins.
That has to be so helpful to have that visualization, not only from having done the race before, but being out there so much in your training as well. Talk about, in addition to a strong second half, talk about your personal goals for this race.
Yeah, so my primary goal is to go into this race and execute the logistics of it well. So in the first two times that I've ran this race, my first time I didn't know what I was doing. It was my first 100K, my second ultra ever, and I just feel like I got really lucky. And that year went really well. And my biggest goal is that I can execute my nutrition plan, make sure I get the correct amount of sodium. I've been having a lot of GI distress, and so I feel like I've cracked kind of that code now after lots of trial and error. So success would mean really nailing the nutrition piece of this. And then the crew stops, and I have two great pacers who are going to bring the energy and the vibes for the end of the race. So that would be success for me, just to get and nail all the logistics. And then on top of that too, getting through the race feeling really healthy and strong. I have had some injuries in the past, so I just want to feel healthy, feel successful, and like I've reached my potential in this race. As for time, place, those sorts of goals, in such a deep field, it's hard to say, oh, I want to, I'm sure that the top 5 women in this race are going to be well under 9 hours. So for me, I feel like my fitness right now is right at that 9 hour mark. And so I would love to hit that time goal. I'd love to be in the top 10. I'd love to be, top 5 would be amazing. I think everything really has to click for a day like that. And yeah, those are probably my primary goals, and to have fun. I know that's such a generic thing to say, but this race in particular is, I see people from my Phoenix running community, my Flagstaff running community, and for us, this race brings everyone to one place. Whether that be volunteering, crewing, pacing, I will see probably 50 people that I know and run with and are part of my Aravaipa community. And so it's just a joy to be out there and connect with all of them.
I love that. So, coming back to that community and also talking about crew and fueling and all of that, who is on your team? Give them a shout out for crewing and also pacing.
Yeah, so my crew chief and logistics extraordinaire will be my partner, Ryan, and he has also run this course several times. Actually, our first year, we ran the entire thing together, not intentionally. We finished like a minute and 30 seconds apart. We were racing
Wow.
each other. So it holds a really special place for us, and it's going to be very special for him to be there, crewing, supporting, guiding. My pacer for the first 20 mile section is going to be Matthew Hamilton, who's our team PT and also one of my very best friends. He once gave a 7-hour monologue for my first 100-mile race because I was in such a bad space. He talked for 7 hours straight and walked 30 miles with me. So shout out to him. He's professional pacer, the best pacer you could have. Funny, motivational, and just awesome. And then my good friend Leela will be bringing me home in the last 12, 11 miles.
Awesome. All right, 2 big questions. We know that there are golden tickets up for grabs at this race. If one were to come to you, would you accept it?
First, it's just such an honor to be able to race in such a deep field of women where some women are going to have their day and it's going to be great and they're going to PR and all of that stuff. And then there's going to be a lot of very talented women who just don't have their day. And so it would be an honor to get a golden ticket. I'm super competitive. I would love to be in the mix of things. Although golden ticket chasing is not my primary motivating or driving force, it's really just I want to show up on the day and feel like I've reached my total potential. I've left everything out there. If that puts me in the mix and we go into Table Mesa and I'm in that top 6 group, I'm going to give it everything I have to get it. I think I would accept a golden ticket, although I do feel a little bit apprehensive about doing a 100-mile race, even Western states.
Understandable. All right, last question. This is my most important question, and that is, what is your current favorite running song?
So I almost never listen to music. I 99% of the time I listen to audiobooks. So I do listen to something. I don't just do nothing. That sounds terrible. So I listen to podcasts. I listen to sometimes my academic textbooks, which I know sounds really boring, and then just a whole slew of different fictional books. But I will say I have created a music playlist because sometimes when I'm really hurting and can't focus or doing a hard workout, need motivation. And I'm really into Taylor Swift's new album. I know I don't like any other Taylor Swift music, but I just really like her new album. It feels fun and motivating to me, especially when I'm running.
Okay, what is your top song choice from the album? This is hard.
It'd have to be, yeah, there's so many good ones. The Fate of Ophelia by Taylor Swift.
Okay. I love it. All right, Nicole, thank you so much for joining me. It was great to get to know you just a little bit and excited to see your last couple weeks of training here, see you out at the race, and wish you the best of luck until then.
Thank you so much for having me.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I am hanging out with Jenna Bensko a couple weeks ahead of the Black Canyon 100K. Jenna, how are you?
I'm doing well this morning. How are you, Lauren?
I'm good. I'm excited to be talking to you. It's been about a year probably since we've had a real conversation, Black Canyon last year. To give a just quick intro, you most recently are off of the Kodiak 100K where you were 7th and then turned around pretty quickly to run CIM, a road marathon where you ran a 2:47, and you are coming around now to the Black Canyon 100K. This is your 3rd time at Black Canyon. That is my first question. What brings you back to this race?
Yeah, great question. I can't seem to stay away. It is my favorite race of the year. I think the biggie is I had such a good time the first year I ran it. I mean, I had like 0 expectations for myself. it was on my birthday actually in 2024.
Oh, that's awesome.
And had, kind of a breakout day for myself. And I think because of that, like this race just has a hold on me. I just have such good memories there. It's always right around my birthday. And it's nice to like escape the Colorado winter, even though we're not having much of a winter right now, and get to the desert. I think the trails are so fun and it's really competitive. I think it's a really fun way to like start the year, to just like throw yourself in the pressure cooker and see what happens. Honestly, going in with low expectations every time, just because it is February. Like, we've typically been running on snow and ice out in Colorado. Again, not as much this year, but it's just a good way to like start the year. Yeah.
So, what are some of the things that you've learned in your experience on this course, either like in the way the race runs or the way that you run on the course, that you are carrying with you and applying to both your training and your prep for this year's race?
Yeah, I would say, well, this race definitely like suits my strengths. I would say I'm more of like a fast, like flat runner. I'm not as good at the hiking, high altitude stuff. So I'm trying to lean into that a little bit more. And in training and prep, I did CIM. It was a quick turnaround after the 100K, and really just wanted to like get the engine going and do like faster road work and see how that translated to Black Canyon this time around. I know like Rachel Drake did that when she had a good race here a couple of years ago. So I wanted to experiment with that. I also recently switched coaches. So in November, I changed coaches and have honestly been doing pretty different training than I've done in the past going into Black Canyon this year. So I'm really excited to see like how that plays out on race day. Because I've never had a different coach. So, and the training is fun and I feel good. And really just trying to go in and like focus on myself this year. I think that's what I did year one, was again, low expectations. No one knew who I was. And I was just focused on having my best day. And last year, I think I got a little bit more caught up in like wanting to stay with the pack and wanting to perform well. And I didn't take care of myself as well. It gets hot out there compared to, like 30 degrees in Colorado. And I didn't take care of myself. I got really dehydrated. I ended up tearing my calf because I was really dehydrated. And this time around, I'm really just trying to focus on like having my best possible day. Because, everyone comes in being really fit. So if someone else has a great day, like they deserve it. They're fit. So just focusing on myself is number one goal this year.
I'm not sure I realized that you actually tore your calf last year. I do remember there's video of you coming across the finish line. It looked painful. I could tell you were cramping. I didn't realize it was that bad. Oh, talk a little bit about, you mentioned your training has been quite different. Talk a little bit about the ways that it's been different and how you feel like it's going.
Yeah, I would say last year I was doing quite a bit of like track work, and I did a cross country race and a 5K race in the winter building into Black Canyon, and was doing a lot of, shorter intervals at higher intensity and still pretty big volume. This year it feels more polarized. So I'm doing probably similar amounts of volume, but my easy days are very short and easy. And then my long days, there's always a workout, but it's not as high intensity. It's more like threshold style, like 50K effort, that kind of style of training versus, the shorter intensity training. And it feels really good so far. So knock on wood, it seems to be working.
Awesome. Talk a little bit then about your goals for this race, your personal goals. I know that's a loaded question.
Yeah, I honestly just want to, big goal is to like improve on my time from 2024. So I think I ran 9:11 that year. Would love to go under 9 hours. Trying not to have place-based goals this year. It's just, again, it's competitive. I just want to like put together my best race, and take care of myself. Yeah, I want to enjoy the day and get to the finish line feeling proud of myself. Like you said last year, there's footage of me like hobbling over the finish line. I'm definitely crying. So I'm like, just don't want to repeat that. Like I want to get to the finish line and feel proud of the day I put together rather than feeling like I'm in shambles.
So, not wanting to put place pressure or expectation on you, but I have to ask the question. You have been very close to a golden ticket spot before. There are 3 golden tickets available. If one was to come to you, would you accept it?
Yes, yeah. I will say that's like not the number one goal. I'm trying to not like hold the outcome too tightly and focus more on the process this time around. But yes, of course, if I happen to get a golden ticket, there's no way you can turn that down. At this day and age, it's getting so hard to get them. So yeah.
True. All right. Talk a little bit about your logistics for the day. Do you have crew and are you using pacers?
Yes, I have a lovely crew and a lovely set of pacers. My main crew will be my partner, Michael, who's been there every year, and then friend Alex Hildebrandt, who crewed actually Meg Morgan when she got her golden ticket 3 years
Okay.
ago at this race. And then my pacers are good friend JC Thompson and good friend Alice Goodall. So we train a lot together and we're great friends outside of running. So I'm really excited to share the day with them. And then I'll actually have some family out there for one of the first times. So we'll see how that part goes.
That's awesome. Awesome. Okay. Last question, my favorite question. What is your current favorite running song?
Okay. Is this going on a playlist again? Like it was
Yes.
last year?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now I know my answer. Cornfield Chase by Hans Zimmer from the Interstellar soundtrack.
Okay.
I wouldn't say it's like everyday life, like just casually listening to it, but when I am running, nothing gets me more hyped than Cornfield Chase. So
Okay.
I would
All
recommend
right.
listening to it.
I'm sure I've heard it like in the movie, maybe, but I cannot pull it out of my head. I'm going to have to go listen after we get off.
It's my pre-race hype song. There's no words. It's just instrumental, but it's, yeah, gets you excited.
Okay. All right. I dig it. I'm going to look it up here in a little bit. All right. Jenna, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you taking your time and wish you the best of luck in these last couple weeks of taper and out there on race day.
Of course. Thank you so much, Lauren. And will I see you out there?
Yes. Yep. I will be there cheering you on along the way and hopefully at the finish.
Yes. Looking forward to it.
All right. I am hanging out with Natalie Sandoval. Natalie, thanks for joining me. We are about 2 weeks out from the Black Canyon 100K. How are you today?
Oh, I'm so good. I'm really excited. I feel like it's been a long time coming and I just can't wait. It's going to be great.
Okay, so a quick little introduction and background. You are coming back to Black Canyon for the 3rd time. You are most recently off of the McDowell Mountain Frenzy 50K, where you won the event. And now, like I said, coming back to Black Canyon for your 3rd time. Talk a little bit about what inspired you to choose this race and come back to this course.
I mean, Black Canyon is in my backyard. I live in Phoenix. And so, with that in mind, it's really special to me. I think it's such a privilege that we have 2 golden ticket races here in the Valley. And because of that, that's been my motivation for moving up in distance. I really just would love to earn one of those tickets as a local. And it would just be so special to me to take home even a good result, even not a ticket, but even just like a good result that I'm proud of in a race that's in my city. So yeah, it's my main motivator.
So talk a little bit about that being a local. How is your training going, and do you get to do much of your training on the course, or have you gone out to do some long runs and recon out there recently?
You know, it's actually funny you say that. I feel like as a local, we almost have the opposite temptation to run too much on the course, you know? And so I think my first time racing, which was in, I think 2022, I did race on course almost every weekend. And I was very new. It was my first time going above a 50K at all. And so I raced out there all the time. I went to all of the Aravaipa runs. This time around, I would say my coach, Sandy Nypaver, and I have been a little bit more intentional about what we want each of the big training runs to look like. And so a few times that has looked like being on course, but I have a lot more confidence from knowing the course previous years that I don't feel like I need to be on course as often in this build.
So talk a little bit about that. What have you learned about the course itself, about the way that it runs, and about the way that you run on it? What are some of those learnings and experiences that you're taking into your prep and your race strategy?
Well, it's an interesting course in the sense that you have a lot of downhill in the beginning. And that's really what people
Hmm.
think of when they think of Black Canyon. You've got this like smashing 50K start. And then you do have quite a bit of rolling and climbing out in the second half. And so, because it's a race that you can run really quickly if you do it right, people automatically always think about running fast when they train for this, which I do think is important. But something Sandy and I have been focusing on a lot is those sneaky climbs and having a lot of fitness in the climbing. So I've done quite a bit of more vert style, longer runs, at least for me, because I'm a pretty flat runner in general. And so we've done quite a bit more vert than I've done in previous builds, just so I have more strength in the second half, strength to run fast and to handle those climbs quickly in the second half of the race.
I love that. That makes sense. Is there anything else that you feel like you're doing specifically or differently in your training this time to prepare for the race?
I think as a full-time worker, especially I work in education. And so this time of year is busy. We have a lot going on, a lot of viruses, a lot of temptation to just go to work, come home, and then get your miles in. And so something I've really felt in this build is I have just tried to be intentional with the quality of all of my runs. In some of my previous builds, I'm like, all right, I'm just going to pop outside and run on the road and get it done. But this time I'm taking every quality run and saying, where's the best location for this? And is this the best workout for me today? So sometimes that even means not doing the workout on the day I have it planned, but just taking intentional thought to say what's best for me and what's best for the build today. And that's something I've really done this build. And I think as I'm growing as an athlete and working with Sandy, I'm gaining that mental confidence to say, what do I really need and what's going to be best for this, instead of maybe like what's the easiest or what I feel like doing at the time.
I love that. That sounds like a good spin into my next question, which is what are your personal goals for this race?
I mean, I want a ticket. I really do. I really do. I mean, there's 30 other women that deserve a ticket here that are towing the line. So I respect that 100%. And I love the competition. I want to be part of it. I feel all that energy from just towing the line with these amazing, talented women. But it would be such an honor to even be in contention for it. So that's absolutely my goal. And that's what I'm hoping to go after. I think beyond that, just some improvement from my original result would be really cool. I think I've grown a lot as an athlete. And even, for example, I had like half an hour of aid station time the first time I did this. So, just improving little things like that. I think, I've grown a lot. I haven't ran any 100Ks since the last time I ran this race, but I've done quite a few 50 milers, quite a few other races. So I feel like I have strategies and experience now to build upon my skills, and I'd be really proud with a better result than I had in 2022. So yeah,
I
a couple
love it.
goals.
That aid station time is huge, right?
Yes.
So
yeah.
maybe a next question lead up there. Are you using crew for this race? Who are you using if you are? And are you planning to use pacers?
Okay, so I don't have any pacers locked down. This will only be the
Okay.
second race that I've done where I needed a pacer. So pacers aren't, or where I was allowed one, I should say. I'm not really used to running with pacers. 50 milers, you don't get pacers. 50Ks, you don't get pacers. And European races, really, you don't. So I think for me, I'm open to it. I've reached out to a couple people. A lot of my friends are in this race, or they're in the 50K. And so I'm kind of at that spot where if it works out and somebody's in town and they can run with me, then I'm all for it. But my crew, on the other hand, I really desperately need, and I can't wait to have them. I'm going to be so blessed to have some of my best friends, my friend Alyssa Jones, Brittany Edmonston, Amanda. Well, actually, Amanda can't come, but Emily Harris and Liz Trokey, they're all going to be there. And I'm just so excited. I've never really had like a friend group be my crew before. So I'm really excited about that. Yeah.
Awesome. I love it. Just don't spend your time hanging out with the friends at each crew spot.
No, we're practicing. We got pack swaps. We're going to be in and out like NASCAR. It's going to be quick. So yeah,
I love it.
But the pacer thing is interesting because like on the one hand, I think pacers, if it's available to us, it's something that I welcome as something that I can use, but it hasn't been a part of my running journey very much. So yeah, we'll see if it works out. And I have a friend that's available to hop in.
Awesome. Okay, last question. This is the hardest question I have for you today.
Oh,
What
boy.
is your current favorite running song?
Okay, I have been thinking about this, and because I love music. I listen to music while I train. I listen to music the whole time at Frenzy, like constant. And so I don't know. I mean, I love SZA. So like day to day, big SZA girl, love me some hip hop. But I think for training and racing, I've been really into K-pop lately. So some
Yes.
Blackpink has been getting me through. So I think I'd have to say, yeah, I'd have to say something from Blackpink for sure would be on my start
Okay.
line.
I'm going to put the pressure on. You've got to choose a specific song.
Oh man. Oh no. I don't even know. Like there's a song called Born Again that is really good, and that's from one of Blackpink's lead singers, and so that's a really good one. Lisa, shout
I love
out
it.
Lisa. Beginning, let's go. Yeah.
I love it. Awesome. Natalie, thank you so much for taking your time to chat with me. I enjoyed getting to know you just a little bit, and really excited to see how you recover, taper, get ready here over the next 2 weeks. And we'll be cheering for you out there on race day.
Okay, thank you so much. Thanks for the time.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I am hanging out with Corinne Chalvoy. Corinne, I think you have run this race more than anybody else that I am going to be talking to. So I'm really excited to connect with you in various forms. You most recently are off of the Javelina 100K, where you were second female, and coming back to this race at Black Canyon. If I have my facts right, correct me if I'm wrong. You have run the 100K 3 times, and you have run the 50K or 60K edition 3 times as well. And coming back for your 4th time in the 100K?
Yeah. 7th Black Canyon, 4th time in the 100K. Yeah. I don't know. Shea, I don't know if you're talking to Shea, but Shea, if she's racing, is she's also a veteran of Black Canyon. So
That's a good call. I'll have to do the math on
I
that
don't know
one. I
how
want to
many.
say she's at 4 or 5, maybe.
Okay. Yeah.
5. We'll see. We'll see when
That's
I
a
get
lot.
around to hers. A lot, yeah. So let's come around to that. What inspired you to come back to Black Canyon and to choose the 100K specifically for this year?
So I tend to just, I think, flip-flop every year because I run the 100K and I'm like, oh, that was so hard. So the next year I'm like, I'm just going to do the fun part of the course, which is the 50K. And then I do that and then I'm like, oh, but I don't know. I kind of like the 100K. So I feel like it just is this pattern that I can't get out of. And I am slightly addicted to the race, I guess. I kind of just can't quit it. It's an amazing event and ambiance, and the trail too is just really like unique and beautiful. And so I think for all those reasons, I find myself on the start list again.
So this was a question I was particularly interested to talk to you about in all of the experience that you have is like talk a little bit about the course and what you have learned from racing on it so much and how you are applying those lessons to your training, to your prep, to getting ready for race day for this year.
Yeah. I mean, I think this can be said about a lot of races. They have their unique, what makes them challenging that are things that you can't necessarily see if you look at a Strava file or if you look at splits or you look at even if you watch the live stream, right? You can't really see what the conditions and how they feel under your feet are unless you get on the trail. And Black Canyon, like I kind of look at it against Javelina, and something I tell people if they have seen both those courses or if they have like been on the Javelina course and the McDowell Mountain Frenzy Pemberton Trail kind of area is that the Black Canyon course is a lot rockier. For example, I would never wear the same shoes on Javelina as I'm going to wear at Black Canyon because of the underfoot protection. I know that some people can wear road shoes on Black Canyon. I am not one of them. But I even wouldn't wear like the ASUs, which I wore on the Javelina course. I feel like the opportunity to roll your ankle really bad, fall, and your feet just get super, super beat up on this course. And so like for me, footwear, that's one thing that's like a big difference. It does not everyone, I heard I think I heard someone talking the other day about how, Western states, everyone thinks it's a fast course. And that's not really true. The times that are run on it are really fast. But from a terrain standpoint, there's a lot of climbing. There's a lot of heat. There's a ton of challenges. Same with Black Canyon. The times that are run on it, because the best of the best of the best come to this race, they're just really hard to, when you're out there running on it, translate to like thinking that you can run that fast in your head, because the terrain itself is not conducive to really, really fast running. So I think it takes a lot of unique like skills. And I think it takes you really actually leaning into like letting the course give you what it does when it does, while still honoring like the fact that you're going to get like chopped down a million times, and you're not going to know that it's added up until it could be too late.
I love that perspective. I don't think I've heard that perspective before in talking about the Western States course, talking about this course and the people who race it, and how that can skew the perspective of what people think of the course and the race itself.
Yeah.
So talk about your training a little bit. How does it differ in, just coming off of Javelina and running so well there, and then coming to this different course, rockier, choppier course? How does your training change? And is there anything you do specifically to prepare for that?
So last year we bought like one of those little like football ladder things, the drills things, because we're like, we got to work on like quick feet, like higher cadence. I have a super lopey stride, but you got to pick your feet up constantly during this race. So like getting your muscles and your ankles and your stability muscles used to that over the winter when you're not running on that can be really important. It's hard to train in the winter in Colorado for it, although we've gotten really lucky this year and I've been able to be on the trails up until just a couple weeks ago. Mm-hmm. But it's one of the main reasons that I like to like go actually run on the course at some point 2 or 3 or 4 weeks before the race, is because you forget what it feels like. Your muscles forget what it takes. And so, I was able to get out there this past weekend and run on the course, and I was not surprised that I was like, oh yeah, very rocky. Always surprising how challenging it is. But that's okay. That's what I'm here to do and practice.
All right. So coming to the long version this year for the 100K, do you have a crew, and are you using pacers?
Yep. Handful of Castle Rock Run Club friends and athletes that I work with are running the 50K. So they'll be crewing. My husband, Graham, will be pacing the 20-mile section from Deep Canyon to Table Mesa. And then my friend Dave will be pacing me for the last 11 and a half, 12.
Awesome.
Yeah. So it'll be a
good
group. You'll know me well.
This is a loaded question. What are your goals for this race for yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I think that I guess for me, this race serves an interesting purpose, because every time I've done it, I have experienced something different, but I've been able to see this evolution over years. It was my first 100K in 2020.
Okay.
And at that point in time, I had no idea if I could finish this distance. That was so dauntingly scary to me that I went into it prepared to just hurt physically and just have to work through so much pain. And what I ended up dealing with was a mid-race anxiety attack. So I had this emotional challenge in the middle of it. I finished, but I ran I think I ran about an 11:50 or something. Mm-hmm. And then the next time I came back, I was like, I'm ready, I'm prepared. And I actually DNF'd. At mile 30 with a kind of a stomach issue. And then 2 years ago when I raced it, I had one of the best races that I've had to date. And I moved my way up throughout the whole day. I had a blast running with my husband. I think I was 12th place, and I ran a 9:50. So I took a good chunk off of that first. So it's just been really cool personally to see kind of that it somewhat represents the evolution that I like to try to continue to have within the sport. So for this year, I would love to PR my time on the course. I I'm going to be focused on trying to do that. I have a number in mind, and I think if I can run it, it'll give me an opportunity to maybe be in the mix of the, who knows, top 10. I think that'd be a huge day for me. And I think that I'm focused a little bit more on just executing the race the way that I want to and know that I can, hopefully with some additional fitness that I haven't had in past years.
What kinds of things do you tell yourself, or like even like a mantra maybe that you have when, talking about how this race kind of chops you down and maybe you don't realize it until a certain point? Do you have things that you tell yourself or that you resort to or refer back to is maybe a better way to say that when you're in the thick of it?
Yeah, I think that something that continually comes to me in races is to embrace the challenge versus being threatened by it. I think that is a Steve Magnus saying, or maybe Brad Stolberg, one of the two. But trying to frame that it is hard. That it's going to be hard. That's why you're there. And like letting that be okay is something that I think is, and I try to just be like, I just try to bring it back to the positive. Like, we're so lucky we get to do this stuff. We're choosing to do it. We're intentionally pushing our limits physically, and that's going to be hard. I mean, it is like, this sport is just, it's not for people that are wimps. Like, it's just not to even complete it. If you're in the back of the pack, there's every single one of these people are so tough to just do this and just attempt it. And so I think you have to tell yourself that when you're in the middle of this and maybe it's not going as planned, and you just have to go back to like, guess what? Like, that's what I'm supposed to feel like. That's normal. Like, but I'm doing it. I'm out here. Just keep chipping away at it. This is what you trained for. Just embrace it.
I love that. I have to ask the question. This is a golden ticket race. There are 3 tickets available. If one was to come your way, would you accept it?
Hell yes, absolutely.
It's not always a yes. That's why I have to ask it.
For me, it's a hell yes. Yes, it's absolutely yes. I would. It'd be an honor. It'd be amazing. And yeah, I would totally take it.
All right, final question. This is my most important question. What is your current favorite running song?
Oh, geez. Okay. I knew you were going to ask this. I have to look at my playlist because I constantly add stuff when I like it and hear it. So, I mean, I've been really into somber lately, SOMBR. And the song Back to Friends is really, really good. That's one that just kind of gets me, like, I don't know, hyped up and excited, but also like, it's like, I don't know. It's just kind of like it's upbeat. So it's got enough like positivity and like, it just makes me feel good. Even though it's not really a feel good song if you listen to the lyrics, but the beat and everything is. So I'll go with that. Or anything Glass Animals you can throw. I mean, one of my bands of all time. So yeah.
Good choice. All right. I'm going to look up the first one, though. I have not heard that song, so I'm going to have to add it to my list as well.
That's good.
All right. Corinne, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me today. I'm excited to see you in the race, see how it goes for you, and we'll be cheering you on out there along the way.
Thanks, Lauren.
All right. I am hanging out with Becca Bramley today. Becca, how are you doing? Thanks for joining me.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm doing great. Yeah, doing really well. Living here in Southwest Colorado, and we've got some snow here, which was really nice.
Awesome.
But yeah, we're all good.
Seems like there's not a lot of snow in California or Colorado otherwise right now. So I'm glad that you have some.
No, yeah, it's been a very dry winter, which isn't good. But it was nice that we got some moisture this past weekend. Yeah.
All right. So talking about the desert, you are coming back to Black Canyon for the second time. You raced last year as well. More recently, you were second place at the Run Rapid Run 100 And I am just curious. I feel like looking back from the outside at a lot of the racing that you have done so far to this point of your career, it seems to me like you really enjoy the mountains and big mountain races. And I would love to hear what inspired you to come back to Black Canyon.
Yeah, definitely. Well, you're spot on with that. I definitely am more of a mountain runner. Living here in Durango, I definitely love the San Juans. Um, but I definitely still have some speed in me because I ran cross country and track in college. And so I
Okay.
do love the speed aspect of racing and competing. So I guess that was the draw for Black Canyon specifically, was it is somewhat vert, but also it's fast and you can like move pretty quickly, which is what I kind of fell in love with last year training for this race was doing the speed workouts, and just doing some type of turnover of just not like long, um, kind of heinous miles in the mountains. It's more you switch gears and do fast speed mile repeats around the track.
Okay, so this was one of the questions that I was interested in asking is coming back for your second time, what kind of things did you learn in your experience last year, both in training and racing, that you are then applying to your preparation, again, both in training and your preparation for race day this year?
Yeah, so I think what I learned a lot from my training last year was really just like the speed and just how that changes, and also the heat training. So that's something because I think I last year didn't do as much was heat training. And to be honest, I think that's what got me the most during the race last year, was the heat. I think it wasn't as much the, the speed or the mileage or even like how fast women were running. I think it was the heat that like really got me. And then just kind of, because I got overheated, that just kind of in the system messed up everything. So yeah, I would
Understood.
say, yeah, from last year to this year, that's kind of been the biggest thing is like, okay, I need to like dial down like heat training, because it's not hot here. We're in like Colorado and it's cold.
So, how is your training going? And is there anything in addition to heat training that you're doing specifically to prepare for the Black Canyon course?
Yeah, training's going really well. I feel really healthy, which I feel thankful for just in regards to I've stayed healthy, not really having any injuries. And I've been doing a lot more speed, and volume in my speed. So workouts. So just like my workouts are definitely higher intensity, higher volume, and doing, laps around the track. I mean, last week I think I did like 35 laps around the track. So it's just like, yeah, higher volume, but speed, which is really fun. And then, yeah, throwing in some heat training in there. I mean, I'm always trying to like gut train during long runs, and just getting as much food down as I can, to just stay on top of all of that as well.
So, what are your personal goals for this race? I know that that's a loaded question, but just in a broad sense, what are your goals for the race?
Well, it's always to finish. Regardless, I love competing, and finishing healthy. But I would love ideally to get top 10. I think last year which was good. Last year was a super humbling race for me where I was like, wow, this is really fast. I feel like I can like kind of, suffer, so to speak, in the mountains. And I know that type of suffering. But like speed and desert racing was like a whole other element for me. And so I think that was like, yeah, deeply humbling to me last year. But I would love to get top 10. I think in a race like this, especially with how stacked the women's list is, I would love to just at least try to be top 10 and compete against some really fast women, which is fun. I love doing that too.
I love that. And it is a very deep field this year. It will be very exciting to watch. We know there are 3 golden tickets available in this race. If one were to come your way, would you accept it?
Yes, I would. The reason I hesitate slightly, I mean, yes, I think it's like a once in a lifetime experience of doing Western. Again, like I'm just going to name that Western is like a very intimidating race to me because it's very out of my element.
Sure.
You know, it's fast, it's road miles, and it's very different than like Run Rabbit or like long runs, or sorry, like 100-mile mountain runs in the mountains. So I would take it if I got it. I mean, like I said, it would be a once in a lifetime experience. And I think it would be really, really cool to be part of Western and just like experience that race and the history behind it and everything that comes with that race.
Mm-hmm. Banking off of what you noted about working on your fueling, working on your heat training and your cooling, do you have a crew and or pacers for this race?
Yep. I do have a crew. My husband, Leland, will be crewing for me. And then actually our best friends, Chris Hammis and Valen Chris is going to be racing it as well. So then Valen is going to be crewing him. But Valen and Leland were kind of my dynamic duo for Run Rabbit and are an amazing crew together. Very dialed. So mostly Leland will be crewing for me since Valen will be crewing for Chris. And in regards to pacers, maybe I'm still figuring it out. It's actually an interesting dynamic. I feel like with Run Rabbit, since I couldn't have pacers, I had to like really shift my mental like headspace around doing a hard, long race by myself. And so there's kind of like an appeal to that now where I'm like, maybe I actually could do it. Like I love having pacers. When I do my training runs here in Durango, I run almost every single day with friends. I am not much of a solo runner, but it's interesting because then I have found when I race, I kind of am. And maybe that's just because I like am in it. I get so competitive that I just kind of get in my headspace and my groove, that I actually don't really like to talk during races.
Yeah.
So that's been like an interesting kind of thing for me. I guess I've just kind of been like, do I want a pacer? And if I did, I think I'm considering like the last like 10 to 12 miles of the race, because that was also kind of, that was hard last year because it was still rolly. It was hot. So it was nice. I had my friend Annie raced with me last year, so it was really nice to have her then.
So here's a bonus question. In hearing you talk about learning how to do that by yourself in Run Rabbit, what kinds of things do you talk to yourself or say to yourself when the going gets hard and you are in that quiet space alone inside your own head?
Yeah. It's funny whenever people ask me that, I'm always like, everything and nothing. Like I think of like so many things, and then I think of also like nothing. So I guess when like the going gets tough, that's where I'm really good, or I have like found that I just like hone in and like go to my go-to songs that like really pump me up and just like lock in. I think that was the piece last year during Run Rabbit when I was second and I knew Riley was ahead of me. And I knew my strength was the climb coming out of Olympian the second time. And it was also, 1 a.m. So at that point, it was like, it's the middle of the night, it's dark. I had been running for a while. But yeah, I think what I tell myself is just like lock in, play my music, and just kind of zone out. Because you can't fall into the like, this is hard, I'm tired, that kind of cycle, because then you'll, at least for me, then I just kind of deplete myself versus like being like, I'm in this, I can do it. And just that positive, I guess that positive narrative in your head.
Totally. Totally. So this is my favorite question anyway, but I'm maybe extra interested to hear it coming off of that process that you take yourself through. What is your current favorite running song?
So I'm actually really enjoying Jungle by Fred again.
Okay.
That's kind of been my go-to lately. Actually it's funny. Fred again has been my, like the other day I had a long run and I just like played the album. So yeah, but Jungle's kind of been, I have found my like go-to song when I am doing, and I'm like deep in a long run or in mile repeats and I just need like a little reset and to get back into the groove again. That's my go-to song right now.
I dig it. All right. Okay. Becca, thank you so much for taking your time to chat with me. I am excited to see how these last few weeks of training go for you and how the race unfolds for you as well. We'll be out there cheering you on along the way.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Great. Okay, I am hanging out with Madison Lichty. Madison joining me from Bozeman, Montana. How are you doing today?
I'm great, Lauren. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for joining me. I am really looking forward to chatting and hearing about your prep for this year's race. You are coming back for your second time at Black Canyon. You were the 9th female in last year's race. And most recently, off of your first 100-miler at the Kodiak 100, where you were second female. My first question is, what brings you back to Black Canyon?
Hi, Lauren. Thanks. I guess I just had such a fun time racing Black Canyon last year. We kind of made a trip of it. Me and my friends came down the week before and we worked and hung out in Arizona and went to Trader Joe's and ran and had a really great week. And then the race itself is just so much fun. Like there's so many big names. The Golden Ticket brings so many big names and so many people are really excited to race and to be there. And so it's just like a great race with a great atmosphere. And it's a good break from the cold winter here. So I'm really excited.
Totally understand that. You mentioned before we hit record that you're sort of just bringing yourself into the ultra space. Talk a little bit about what you have learned, both from your experience at Black Canyon last year and maybe just your experience across the course of the year that you are applying to your training and your prep for this year.
Yeah. I guess I ran in college, like track and cross country, and then right out of college, I ran marathons. My friend McKenna Morley was kind of my marathon coach, and then I kind of transitioned to trails, mostly inspired by my dad because he does ultras also, and so I've been working through all the different types of training for like years and years and years, and Black Canyon is so much fun and so great because it's kind of a combination of everything I know, really. Like it's trails, it's long, it's technical, but it's also fast. And so I've been incorporating longer trail runs, trying to get some elevation, but also like a weekend marathon-esque long run workout and some strength training. Like I went down to Arizona to practice on the trails. And so I've just gotten to incorporate everything I know about running into one training block, which has been super fun.
I love that. How is your training going? I would imagine living in Bozeman and training for Phoenix in February is a little bit challenging. How is your training going so far for this block?
It's actually going really, really well. And I'm sorry to all the skiers that live in Bozeman, but we have had such a mild winter this year that I've gotten super lucky and I've been able to get on trails that I probably shouldn't get to be on right now. So I've limited the amount of treadmill running that I've had to do. So it's actually been like pretty good.
That's awesome. I mean, maybe not awesome, but awesome for training.
Awesome for training, and our watershed is doing just fine. So Bozeman's going to be fine, but the skiers are sad.
Yeah, I can imagine. Who do you have coming with you or meeting you there for your crew needs and are you using a pacer? What does your logistical setup look like?
Yeah. So my best friend Zach and McKenna are going to be there. Zach Perrin is racing, and then McKenna Morley, his partner, is going to pace him. So they'll be there, but they're kind of going to be doing their own thing. And then we'll have some mutual friends coming for kind of both of us. But specifically for me, my dad is coming and my little sister is coming to be my crew / pacers. My dad is going to pace me the last 12 miles, I think, which he's never paced me before. So I'm excited.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
mentioned that he runs ultras as well. Is he doing the 50K or anything like that the day after?
He's not, but the exciting part about this race for me is that he has been putting in for Western for like 10 years or more, and he got drawn in the lottery in December. So that is just like a huge incentive for me to put it all out there so that maybe we could race together in June. But yeah, that'd be pretty exciting.
That essentially answers one of my questions. This was going to be one of the last questions I asked,
Oh,
but
sorry.
no, it's okay. Are you specifically chasing a golden ticket, and would you take it if one came your way?
Sorry to jump ahead. Yeah, I think it would be crazy and just like a dream come true, but I have to try. I think the Western has been all my dad's talked about for as long as I can remember growing up, and being able to race it together would be like an absolute dream for both of us. And last year it seemed completely impossible, and now this year it seems maybe possible.
That's exciting. Building and growing from that experience last year.
Totally.
In addition to the golden ticket opportunity, what other goals do you have for yourself for the day?
I have a goal of just leaving it all out there and having fun and not getting too intimidated by everything that goes on at Black Canyon. Black Canyon is just such a fast race with big names, and there's a lot of people and there's a lot going on, and I think it's easy to get overwhelmed. So one of my goals is to just trust all the work that I've put in and be happy that I got to the start line and do as best I can, and I'll be happy with that.
This is maybe backtracking a little bit, but hearing you talk about just the way that you're approaching your day, is there anything specific you learned about the course or about the way to race this race that you think you'll apply to your strategy for this year?
I just remember last year, I think we started around the track, and I think my first mile was like a 6:30 mile, and I was like getting dropped and I was in shock. So this time, I think my training has prepared me a little bit better for that type of speed. And also just like, I'm going to try to keep a level head at the beginning and the first half, because it is a long race still, and you get to that 50K and there's still a lot of race left. And so I'm going to do my best to stay composed that first half, no matter how everything else is going, how the rest of the race is going.
Stay composed. I like that phrasing of that approach. Okay, I love it. Okay, last question. This is the most important question. What is your current favorite running song?
This is funny. I was thinking about this because this isn't something that I would just like blast in my house on repeat, but recently my favorite music to turn on like at the end of a treadmill workout or like the last couple miles of a long run is the K-pop Demon Hunter soundtrack.
Yes. Yes. Oh, I love it
It's
so much.
Good. It's so good.
Okay, which song though? You have to choose one song.
I always turn on Golden. That one's so good.
Good choice. I love it. I'm a big fan too.
If anyone hasn't heard it, it's so good.
It's so good. So good. Such a good running song too, specifically. Or the whole track, really.
Yeah. If we start at Golden and keep going through, they just they're all good.
That's a good, I'll make a side note here, a good like night before your race movie to watch to like pump you up and get you feeling like excited and
Yeah.
inspired and
Yeah. Yeah, just dance around a little bit.
totally. All right, Madison, thank you so much for joining me. It was great to meet you, and I'll look forward to meeting you out there at the race too. I hope these next couple weeks are smooth sailing, and I wish you the best of luck on race day.
Thank you so much, Lauren. It was so great to meet you. Bye.
I am hanging out with Elise Lagerstrom, joining us from, well, I didn't ask you this before we hit record. Are you in Portland?
I'm just outside of Portland in the Gorge. So actually, like, Gorge Waterfalls is my home.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're talking about a very different race today, the Black Canyon 100K. To give a quick introduction, I hope I don't embarrass you with this. You have won almost every race that you have competed in over the past 2 years, 50K and upward, including races in the desert, like we were talking about before we hit record. You have been to Black Canyon 100K twice before. This is your third time running the event. And that is my first question. What brings you back to Black Canyon?
Yeah, Black Canyon for me has like always been on my radar for the past, well, since I've been doing ultras, to be honest. I really enjoy the timing of Black Canyon, first of all, because I enjoy having something all winter to train for and be thinking about. I think it's just like hugely beneficial to me to be thinking about like, I need to be able to run this 100K in February, which is kind of crazy in itself. And so the timing, for one thing, just like really draws me to an early season race. But I also just like, I love the course. I love that it's downhill. That's my favorite part. And I love going to the desert in the winter when training at home just seems so impossible. So weather, and the winter.
Those are big popular reasons.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about the course and just like the things that you have learned from racing on it previously and that you bring to your preparation for this year.
Yeah. You know, there are so many things, and I think twice is not enough to be an expert on it, that's for sure. Because even my two experiences were extremely different in terms of like course. I think I raced it first in like 2022. And I think that was a pretty standard year in terms of like weather. It was very hot and dry. And I hadn't seen the course at all going into that year. And then in 2024, it was the snow year. And so then racing that course very differently, especially on the front end in terms of like, oh, we're having snow and this is like mud that cakes your shoes and is horrible for the first, 12 miles was a completely different experience. But I think then what kind of lessons I'm taking from both sides of that is like, I know this race goes out extremely fast no matter the conditions. Like, and that's just something like, it's going to be extremely uncomfortable for a very long time until people like settle in. And also just like the entire first half in general is much easier and beautiful and flowing. And then you really get into like the work on the backside and just being prepared. I see it as like a completely shift in gears of like, okay, now we're doing like more rocky technical and there's, pretty much equal up and down. And there's some extended climbs like up to the Table Mesa area. And I think that that's just knowing that like the back end is going to require more than you think when you start the race and you're going through and just like knocking off the miles so quickly in the front end. Having that experience is also extremely valuable. Just like being able to, I don't know, set expectations about what's coming and like back end's probably going to feel pretty bad. But the course is also so much harder on the back end. So you just got to know that.
So having all of that experience and knowing how that might play out, how the day might play out for you, how do you apply then that experience to your training? And the second question being, how is your training going?
Yeah. So I have applied that to my training quite a bit. I think that I've taken more of the mindset of like, I'm training for the back half that like, I'm not running super flowy, smooth trails. I think I took that mindset in previous years of like, this is extremely fast and it's this beautiful dirt and trail that you're going downhill, and train for that side. And I think that this year I've really made the decision that like, no, you're still training for vert, you're still training for like more technical terrain. So I've run a lot more on rock and, you know, added a lot more elevation gain than I'm used to, and really tried to limit the amount of like flowy, fast running, and really just like, I'm still making this into like, this is a trail race.
I like that. Even though the fast flowy stuff is so addicting.
It's so
Training
addictive.
for the back half. I like that. So, loaded question here. What are your personal goals for this race?
I mean, I think that I've had to be like really flexible in terms of goals for this year, and so kind of developing what that looks like. I think that I don't really feel like I have a stretch goal or anything, and I don't particularly have a placement goal because there's so many unknowns there. But I feel like running anywhere in like the 10-hour range is very realistic, by having like a decent day to a good day. Running in the 10-hour range would be my goal. And then like the fun goal on that is like, well, making sure I don't need my headlamp, and you know, just trying to do like the normal things of executing nutrition. So there's a lot of things. I think that I've had extremely bad like nutrition mistakes every single time I've done Black Canyon. So it's like, try to make sure that I'm not making the same mistakes that I've made in the past, and just like executing to my fitness level that I'm at right now.
I love that. It sounds like too, before we hit record, we were talking that this is a little bit of a training race for you for the Sedona Canyons 125 a couple months after. Similar environment, similar trails. I have to ask the question anyway. This is a golden ticket race. There are 3 golden tickets available. If one were to come to you, would you accept?
I mean, that's not a goal of mine. It's not realistic. But if one were to happen to me, I would of course accept that, because I've done Western States, and I really need to go back and like do that again. And so like, I would give up anything to like go back to Western States. We can change my entire schedule. It's fine.
I would imagine, you know, like you said, with Black Canyon specifically, it takes time to learn the course and learn how to execute it. I'm sure Western States is the same.
Oh yeah, I know. Yes, completely. And so much more time that's available, you know? So
Right.
yeah.
Right.
What a race, yeah.
All right, back to Black Canyon. Do you have crew, and are you using pacers?
No pacers. I've actually never had pacers at Black Canyon before, but I do have my dad coming down with me, so my dad's going to crew me, and so he's done it a lot, and so that'll be fun, and I think that's like a pretty huge, I don't know, benefit at Black Canyon. I think it's a huge advantage, because like one of the things that I learned over the past couple of years is like, taking the shuttle stresses me out, because I'm like, I need more than 30 minutes to get ready for this race. So like, having someone to drive you and like being on time is just like a huge load off my shoulders. And so like, that in itself, I'm like, yes, crew is like so beneficial. And then with the race being so big, like so many people, aid stations can get really cramped and crowded and just chaotic. And so having crew there to just like fill your bottles, have your bottles ready, is such a huge advantage that like, it's really hard to do it without. And I've done it without before. And so I was just like, I've been very jealous of people with the crew. And so I'm very happy to be going back with the crew this year.
Awesome. All right, last question. This is my favorite question. What is your current favorite running song?
Yeah, it changes a lot. So it's very much, this is like current events, but it's Waterfalls by James Hype.
Okay, I haven't heard it.
Oh, really?
All right, I'm going to look it up when we get off the call.
Yeah, you should. It's really good.
All right. Elise, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciated getting to know you just a little bit and wish you the best of luck in these last couple weeks here. And we will see you out at the race in a couple weeks.
Great. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.